Chapter 1. Beauty's Family. A wealthy man lives in a large city near the sea. He has 3 daughters and 3 sons. One daughter is called Beauty because she is very beautiful. 2 other daughters are called Rosalind and Hortensia. They are lazy and unfriendly. They like to go out and have fun. Both of them want to find a rich husband. They don't like Beauty because she is beautiful. She has long red hair. She is kind and friendly. She likes to stay at home and read books. She also likes to play the piano. Beauty's father is a merchant. One day, he loses all his money because his ships are missing at sea. "My dear children," he says sadly, "I don't have much money. We are poor. We must leave this big house and move to the countryside." "Oh no," say the 2 sisters, "being poor is terrible. How unlucky we are." Beauty's brothers are shocked too. They understand they must work now, but the sisters start to cry. Beauty is sad, but she says, "Don't cry. We can work and be happy without money." The family moves to the countryside and lives in a small cottage. Every morning, Beauty wakes up at 4 a.m. to clean the house and cook. She also washes her family's clothes in the river. Her brothers work in the fields. Rosalind and Hortensia don't work at all. They sleep all morning and wander in the forest all afternoon. "I am not happy," says Rosalind. "I don't like the countryside because there's nothing to do here. We can't go to the theatre or wear beautiful clothes. We don't have a social life anymore," says Hortensia. "Look at Beauty," she says angrily. "She works and she's happy in this terrible place. My dear Beauty, you work so much, yet you are always happy. You are a wonderful daughter." Chapter 2. Beauty's Rose. 1 year later, Beauty's father receives an important letter. He calls his 6 children and says, "Listen to this letter. Your ship is here. It is not lost at sea. Come to the port." "Everyone is happy. This is great news," says the 3 sons. "Yes, the ship with our goods is at the port," says the father. "We are rich again. We can buy beautiful clothes," says Rosalind. "And we can return to our big house in the city," says Hortensia. "I must go to the port today," the father says happily. "Oh, father," says Hortensia, "please bring me some new dresses and a new hat." "Yes, and bring me new shoes and jewellery," says Rosalind. Beauty's father looks at her and says, "What would you like, Beauty? Please, father, don't spend money on me. Just bring me 1 rose." Beauty's father arrives at the port and finds his ship, but there is no goods on it. It's empty. "How unlucky! I must go home and tell the children the bad news," he says, disappointed. On his way home, he crossed through a large forest. It's snowy and windy. "Where am I? Where should I go? I'm cold and tired." Suddenly he hears some wolves and he's afraid. Then he sees a big castle in the forest with lights in the windows. "Good. Maybe the people in the castle can help me." He takes his horse to the stable near the castle. He knocks on the big door, but nobody answers. He waits outside. Then he opens the door and walks inside. He finds a large hall with a fireplace and a long table with a lot of food on it. He is cold and sits by the fire. How strange, he thinks. No one is here. He is hungry and sits down at the table to eat. Afterward he feels sleepy, so he finds a warm, comfortable bed and falls asleep. The next morning he finds some new clothes near his bed. He thinks, "How nice! New clothes! What kind of people live in this castle?" He looks out the window and is surprised. It's no longer snowing and it's a beautiful day. There are even flowers in the garden, he said to himself. Then he gets dressed and goes into the hallway. On a long table he finds biscuits, chocolate and milk. He sits down and says, "Thank you for this lovely breakfast." He looks around but sees no one. He eats and decides to go home. In the garden he sees some roses. Beauty wanted a rose. He thinks he picks a lovely one. Suddenly he hears a terrible sound and turns around. He sees an ugly beast. Chapter 3. The Beast. "You are a bad man," says the beast angrily. "You came into my castle. I saved your life. You ate here, and you slept here. Then you took one of my beautiful roses. For this you must die." Beauty's father begins to cry. "Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. You were very kind. Please don't be angry with me. The rose is for one of my daughters. My name is not Sir, it's Beast. And you talk about your daughter, then one of your daughters must die in your place." "Oh, no," says Beauty's father, "they are young and do not want to die. Then you must come back here and die." Beauty's father agrees to return. "My daughter will not die. He thinks I will go home and see my children one last time." Before Beauty's father leaves, the Beast speaks to him again. "I am not unkind. Go back to your bedroom. There is a large chest there. Fill it with everything you want, and it's yours." Beauty's father fills the chest with gold. Then he gets on his horse and rides home. When he arrives home, he gives the rose to Beauty. "Take this rose, Beauty," he says sadly. "Let me tell you about my terrible adventure." He tells his children about the empty ship, the castle in the forest, and the Beast. Rosalind and Hortensia are angry at Beauty. They says, "Father must die because you wanted a rose, Beauty." "No, father will not die. I will go to the Beast's castle," says Beauty. Beauty's brothers worry about her. They says, "No, Beauty, we will go to his castle and kill him." "That is impossible. The Beast is very big and strong. I am old. I must go and die," says their father. But Beauty doesn't agree. She decides to go to the Beast's castle. "No, father, you must not go. I want to go." "Never, my dear Beauty," says her father. "I'm not afraid, father. You must live and take care of my brothers and sisters. They need you." Beauty's father thinks for a moment. Then he says sadly, "Well, Beauty, you may go." Beauty's brothers are sad, but Rosalind and Hortensia are not. The next morning, Beauty and her father go to the Beast's castle. Inside the castle, they see a long table with lots of delicious food on it. Beauty and her father are not hungry, but they sit down and eat. Suddenly, they hear a loud noise. Beauty, "What is that terrible noise?" Father, "The Beast is coming." Beauty sees the Beast's ugly face and is afraid. "Oh, this Beast is truly terrible." She thinks, "Beast, you are a brave girl." Beauty quietly says, "I'm very sorry about the rose from your garden. Your father must leave tomorrow and never return. Do you understand?" "Oh, Beauty, please go home. Let me stay here," says her father. "No, father, we must be brave," says Beauty. "We're both tired. Please get some sleep now. Tomorrow morning, you can go home to my sisters and brothers." That night, Beauty has a dream. In her dream, a kind fairy says to her, "You are a good girl, Beauty, and you have a kind heart. You wanted to save your father's life. One day, you will be very happy." Chapter 4. Life at the Castle. The next morning, Beauty's father leaves the castle. He is crying. "Don't cry, father. Remember, I love you," says Beauty. "Goodbye, dear Beauty," he says. Beauty is scared. "The Beast will eat me tonight," she thinks. "I want to enjoy my last day. I will explore the castle's gardens." Beauty walks through the garden and is amazed. It is filled with beautiful flowers and fountains. Later, she explores the grand rooms of the castle. She opens one door and sees a sign that reads, "Beauty's Room." She opens the door and finds a lovely room inside. There is a comfortable bed and mirrors on the walls. "How strange! This room has a piano and so many books just for me. Perhaps the Beast doesn't want to eat me tonight." She picks up a book and begins to read it. Suddenly she sees words written on the page. "Welcome, Beauty! You are the queen here. Tell me what you want." "I just want to see my poor father," says Beauty. Suddenly she sees her father in the mirror on the wall. He looks sad. She also sees her home and her sisters, Rosalind and Hortensia, looking very happy. The beast is kind to me. Why am I afraid of him? She thinks. At noon she has lunch. After lunch she goes back to her room. What a beautiful piano, she thinks. I want to play it. She plays a lovely song on the piano. Then she looks at the books in her room. Some of them have pictures, while others do not. She finds a book about flowers and looks at the pictures of different types of flowers. Now I want to go back to the garden to look at the lovely roses, she thinks. She spends the entire afternoon in the garden, admiring the flowers and feeling joyful. At dinner she sits at the long table and then hears the beast approaching. She feels scared. "Beauty, may I sit here with you?" asks the beast. "You are the lord of the castle," says Beauty. "And you are the queen here," says the beast. The beast, "May I ask you a question?" "Yes, of course," says Beauty quietly. "Am I very ugly?" asks the beast. Beauty doesn't know what to say. She looks at him and thinks for a moment. Beauty, "Yes, yes, you are, but you are kind and polite." The beast looks at Beauty and smiles. "You're right, I am terribly ugly, but I am kind. This is your home now, Beauty. Please don't be sad." Beauty, "Some handsome men are not kind," she says. "I like you because you have a kind heart." Beast, "Thank you, Beauty." Now Beauty is no longer afraid of the beast and enjoys a wonderful meal. The beast looks at her and asks her a question. Beast, "Will you marry me, Beauty?" Beauty is frightened by his question. "What can I say?" she thinks. She stays silent for a moment and then answers quietly, "No, I'm sorry, I don't want to marry you." The beast is sad and Beauty is afraid. He leaves the room and says, "Good night, Beauty." Chapter 5, The Magic Ring. Beauty spends 3 months at the castle. Every day she reads books and plays the piano. She walks all around the beautiful garden, enjoying the tall trees and different coloured flowers. She picks beautiful flowers to decorate her room and sometimes makes perfume from them. But the days feel long, and Beauty often feels lonely. She misses her father and siblings. "I wish to see my father again," she thinks sadly, "and I want to see my home again too." Every evening the beast comes to see her at dinner, always at 9 o'clock. They talk about many things and enjoy each other's company. Beauty is no longer afraid of his ugly face. Every night the beast asks her the same question. "Beauty, will you marry me?" And every night Beauty gives him the same answer. "No." One day Beauty asks, "Why do you ask me the same question every night?" Beast, "Because I hope to hear a different answer one day." Beauty, "I'm sorry, I don't want to marry you." The beast is very sad. Beauty, "But I will always be your friend." Beast, "You are a wonderful friend." Beauty smiling, "And so are you." Beast, "I know I am terribly ugly, but I love you very much. I'm very happy with you. Please don't leave me." Beauty's face turns red and she stays quiet for a moment. Beauty, "In the mirror in my room I see my poor father. He is sad and lonely. He thinks I am dead. My sisters are married and my brothers have moved away. I want to see my father one last time. May I go visit him, please?" Beast, "Yes, you may go and see your father, but I will be very sad without you." Beauty, "Oh, thank you. Please don't be sad, Beast. I will return in a week." "All right," says the beast. "You may visit your father tomorrow morning, but remember you must return in 1 week. Before you come back, place this ring on a table near your bed. It is a magic ring. Goodbye, Beauty." Chapter 6, The Sisters' Plan. The next morning Beauty wakes up in her bedroom in her father's house. She gets up and goes downstairs. Her father sees her and begins to cry. "Father, Beauty, is that you? It's a miracle. My daughter is safe and here." Beauty is very happy and hugs her father. "Father, get dressed quickly and tell me all about the beast." Beauty goes to her room and finds a chest full of beautiful clothes. "This is a gift from the beast. He is very kind and gives me presents every day." She picks some lovely clothes. "I want to give these lovely clothes to Rosalind and Hortensia," says Beauty. When she says this, the chest disappears. "Father, the beast is watching you. These beautiful clothes are for you, not your sisters." Suddenly the chest reappears. That morning Rosalind and Hortensia come to visit her. They are very happy to see her. Rosalind: "Oh, Beauty, I am not happy." Beauty: "Why are you unhappy, Rosalind?" Rosalind: "It's a long story." Beauty: "Please tell me." Rosalind: "My husband is handsome, but he spends all day looking in the mirror. He never looks at me or talks to me." Beauty: "Oh dear, that's a big problem." Hortensia: "My husband is very smart, but he doesn't like anyone and no one likes him. I can't invite my friends to lunch or dinner because he dislikes them." Beauty feels sympathy for her sisters. Beauty: "My poor sisters, I'm so sorry." Hortensia: "Tell us about the beast." Beauty: "Oh, the beast is not a bad man. He is very kind. I live in his beautiful castle and am treated like a queen. I don't work. I read, play the piano, and walk in the garden. Every evening the beast visits me for dinner and we talk about many things. It's wonderful." The two sisters are very jealous and go to the garden to talk. Rosalind: "Beauty wears lovely clothes and shoes. She's like a queen. She is so happy. Why is she lucky and we are not?" Hortensia: "You're right, Rosalind. We're not very lucky. But maybe we can change that. Beauty has to return to the beast in a week, or he will get angry and eat her." Rosalind: "Then we must keep her here. Then the beast will get angry." Over the week, the sisters act kindly towards Beauty. They talk and laugh with her and enjoy the countryside together. At the end of the week, Beauty says, "I must return to the beast's castle," but her sisters begin to cry. "Oh, Beauty," says the Rosalind, "please stay with us for another week." "We need you, Beauty," says Hortensia. "Please don't go. We have fun with you and we love you," says Rosalind. Beauty does not know what to do. She decides to stay another week. Chapter 7. The Dream Beauty stays with her family for 10 days. Every day her sisters keep her busy, so she doesn't think about returning to the beast. "The beast will be very sad without me," Beauty thinks, "but I want to stay with my family for a few more days. Then I will go back to him." She thinks about the beast and realizes she misses him. 10 days after she left, Beauty has a strange dream. In her dream she sees the beast lying on the grass in the castle's garden. He looks weak and is barely breathing. Beast: "Beauty," he whispers, "today is the 10th day and you are not here. I can't live without you. I can't eat or drink anything." Beauty wakes up in a panic. "The poor beast will die without me. I must return to him." She thinks she takes the magic ring and places it on a table near her bed. The beast may be ugly, but he is very kind. "Why don't I marry him? I am happy with him. My sisters have handsome, intelligent husbands, but they are not happy." Beauty falls asleep, and the next morning she wakes up in the beast's castle. She decides to wear a beautiful dress to see him. At 9 o'clock in the evening she goes to the dining room and waits for the beast, but he does not come. What's wrong? Beauty thinks. Where is the beast? Why isn't he here? "Beast!" she cries. "Beast, where are you? Answer me!" She opens the doors to all the rooms and looks everywhere in the castle, but she cannot find him. Suddenly she remembers her dream. She runs to the garden and finds the beast lying on the grass, just as she had dreamed. Oh no, is he dead? She listens to his heart and feels a faint beat. Good, he's not dead, she thinks. She brings some cold water from the river and sprinkles it on his face. The beast slowly opens his eyes. Beauty, he whispers, I am dying, but I am happy you are here. No, beast, Beauty cries, don't die. You must live and become my husband. I love you, and I cannot live without you. Chapter 8. The Prince. Suddenly, all the lights in the castle and the garden turn on. Beautiful fireworks light up the sky. Beauty is surprised and looks at the castle. Then she turns and looks at the beast. To her astonishment, she sees a handsome young man standing where the beast was. Thank you, Beauty, says the young man. The spell is broken. But where is the beast? She asks, confused. I am the beast, he says. I don't understand. Who are you? Says Beauty. I am a prince, and this is my castle, says the young man. An evil witch cast a spell on me, turning me into a beast. Only true love could break the curse, and now I know that your love is true. The prince takes her hand and says, Will you marry me, Beauty? Beauty looks at the handsome prince and answers happily, Yes, I will. Beauty and the prince walk into the castle together. When she opens the door, she sees her family waiting inside. My family, you're all here, she cries. She is overjoyed to see them. They talk and laugh together. Suddenly she sees the kind fairy from her dream. Beauty, says the fairy, you have a kind heart, and now you will marry the prince and become a princess, says Fairy. The fairy then looks at Beauty's two sisters, Rosalind and Hortensia. You two are unkind, lazy, and selfish. You love no one. The fairy waves her wand and says a few magical words. Suddenly Rosalind and Hortensia turn into statues. Oh no, Beauty cries, my sisters have turned into statues. Your sisters have hearts of stone, says the fairy. Now they cannot move, but they can see and hear everything. When they understand their mistakes, they can return to their human forms. Chapter 9. Happily Ever After. The next day, Beauty and the prince are married. There is a grand celebration at the castle with music, dancing, and flowers everywhere. It is a day full of joy. The prince sees tears in Beauty's eyes and says, Don't cry, my dear Beauty. This is the beginning of our happiness together.